Hi, folks. It's Chuck Mott, and I wanted to do a video today just because I'm in the middle of doing it. I want to show you guys my process for learning like a challenging song. In this case, I'm going to be working on a Fleetwood Mac's The Chain. I did kind of go out and just kind of like look around on some videos and stuff about how to play this song. So it isn't like this is brand new to me, but a lot of times, I've been doing this for like a long time, and I still go to like guitar lesson videos to see how to play certain songs. I'm not familiar with drop D tuning, for example, so I don't know that I would have gotten these different chord forms if I had not have done that. So I went ahead and did that. I'm keeping to the drop D version. I'm not doing standard tuning or anything. So with the idea is essentially you're tuning down the low E and the high E to D, and you're putting a capo here, which would kind of make it a E-ish, something like that. So I know that it's in drop D. I know it's and I know it's capoed up. So I did kind of like look around and spent some time on this guitar lesson a little bit before. So that's a part of what I'll do, especially if it's challenging. I mean, there's no shame in doing that. I still do it. Sometimes I even do it to save time. And in this particular case, I'm glad I did it. But anyway, so the chain is like, because of the change in tuning, it makes for some different kind of chord shapes than what you'd be used to. This isn't one of them. This is actually fairly straightforward. This is a D7th. Even though the capo's in the second, we're just going to refer the simple to keep things simple. We're going to keep it would actually be a step up. Everything would be this would actually be an E7th, but we're going to call this, for all intents and purposes, a D7th that has that shape, right? And that's one of the chord shapes in it. The other thing that he does in the intro is do that hammer on from the I want to say the first fret to the third fret. So those two things, all the chords that are at the very beginning of it, right? So it's he throws in the use of the low D fairly often. So it's kind of finger picked like Travis picking. So wow. Now, if I'm learning something and I really want to learn it right, I don't do it necessarily because I want to be really, for lack of a better word, really anal on how I learn the song. I do it because I think that's a part of the process for really learning the song. Because I don't really, if I don't play it exactly, when I'm out, it doesn't kill me, but it does help me really kind of sink my teeth into the song to learn how to play it right. I don't always do that with guitar solos. Some I will, depends on the song. But that said, let's go ahead and start listening to this. This here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get this, pull this up and get it started. So this is the intro for the chain. Hopefully you guys can hear it okay. No, that's not it. Now we'll start from the beginning. All right. See, it's kind of. I will try to get all those sort of things right. But if I do this, if I stop every 30 seconds, I'm going to make this an overly long video. But that's essentially two parts. I would, get that kind of under my fingers to where I'm doing what they're doing, so which is more like, we'll just do that for the beginning here. So anyway, it's essentially going back and forth between with just picking, right? Whoops. So it actually doesn't that doesn't do that. It does. And then I suspect there's a couple different guitar parts going on here. So, but for the most part, I think he avoids doing the. And then kind of from there, it sort of kind of does that classic, right? Kind of thing. So that's the intro for the song. It's kind of some interesting chord stuff going on, because that's also kind of like the. Actually, no, that's the intro, and then the verse does something else. The verse does something like a. So it starts kind of with that seventh chord sort of thing, and goes up to what would be now the fifth fret, and kind of does a G shape. I just kind of put that in there so you guys can kind of visualize that. There's no, he doesn't throw in this note. That would be wrong. So it's something like it's this kind of G shape, dropping like the G down to a G7 kind of thing, right? So that'd be another kind of chord shape in there. And this is sort of kind of, you're picking the fretted notes. Even though not chord without the fretted notes, it still sounds kind of cool. These are all kind of chords are really friendly tuning, but with this, the way I'm hearing it, it just picks the fretted notes. So anyway. And then this chord here, which is the fretted notes would be the E string on the 12th fret, the G string on the 11th, and the B string on the 12th fret. Right? And if you can kind of see that chord shape there, it sort of looks like that, with a low on the 12th fret, B string on the 12th fret, and the G string on the 11th fret. So we want to pay attention to that shape, because all it does next is just moves that down the whole step. Whoops. That's essentially the verse. So let's take a listen to it. You can hear some really kind of consistent drony things that I don't think are one guitar parts. I think he's kind of done a nice job of layering two guitar parts going on here, and I would almost sort of it almost sort of has a dobro kind of sound to it. So there's two different guitar things going on here with this. Listen. Those two things there, especially in that last line, you sort of kind of, and I bring that up because you've really got to kind of pick your point in doing a song like this. If you're in a one guitar band, if you're the two of you and you want to work this stuff out, knock yourselves out. I'm not that guy. I'm the only guitar player in my band, so I'm going to have to pick what I do, and that's going to be part of my process of learning how to play it the way I want to play it, the way I need to play it. and still have it sound believable. Right? So listen, listen for the two parts. I will try to get it as close to possible as that. I'm not going to get real anal. So let me plan to play for you real quickly. Right, that might be how I might play the intro. You can pretty much, unless you want to make things really hard on yourself, you can pretty much throw the pick away for this song because it's loud and the thing you're picking. So anyway, that's the intro. Right. Right, pretty much it. But the point being is, without trying to, we'll sit here for the rest of the day. I'll try to get this perfect. But I'm working out like the intro. I'm working out the verse part. And if I'm doing that, I'm pretty well golden. It doesn't have to be borrowed. And I don't worry about like whether or not I missed a note or anything like that. Too much is too much, and that'll drive you crazy. So the rest of the song, let's go. This in a guitar lesson, and I kind of compared that guitar lesson watching Fleetwood Mac play it live. I think there might be a version out there where he doesn't have the capo on his guitar. Maybe it might even be in standard tuning, but the other versions I've seen have this. So that I want to kind of stick to that version because to me it sounds the most accurate. So that said, because of the tuning, you're going to have something that looks like this, and you want to do a fair amount of string muting because the chords are not going to sound right if you don't. Even though this might sound, I suspect this is going to sound cool with all 6 strings. As not what it is. It's going to be more like on what would be the 5th fret now, considered the 5th fret, I guess. Since they're capoed up, you have a 5th fret low E, 5th fret A, and 3rd fret on the B. So very interesting sounding kind of chord, and that's something that you would hear like working in a lot of context, but in this song works perfectly, right? So it's kind of, you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you, right? Saying, there's that chord voice again. You would never break if you break the chain, right? Pretty much it. So let me go through that again. Don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would. I sort of kind of have to remind myself to put my fingers in that position because this is like, let me do it again. Is that chord? Here's this chord to that voicing that we already talked about earlier on the 10th fret now. So let's. to that deep voicing, this voicing. And that is essentially a C with it throwing in the D note. And yeah, so to me, the tuning is really important because this is just essentially a C with a ninth thrown in, the D right here. You're just sort of kind of hammering off that G note. Yeah, what would be what we'll call the G note. Then goes into another whole part. Right? So I will listen to the second verse. I will listen to I'll get all those kind of parts together. I will kind of get them each part solid. I will work on the intro for a little while just to get something that I'm comfortable with. That sounds decent playing. I will move on from there to the verse and make sure the changes are kind of smooth. I'm still working on that process with this, obviously. And then I will kind of work on the chorus part. And in the case of this song, everything is just kind of a repeat, really. It's just like almost the same as the intro, sort of, kind of. I actually kind of doing there, but I just kind of, because I spaced it out, I'm attempting to play that with a pick, which is kind of clumsy. So, but you get the idea. It's the same parts as the beginning. And so it's just. One more. One more, just more picking of that D7th shape there. And that's the bass. You just don't have a guitar that's like this. Let me stop it. 7th fret, right? I guess that's, yeah. This is the nut now, right? Yes, I hope you guys can see this the way I'm. And for the sake of simplicity, I think these are the voicings. This is something you can totally get away with. They're like root 5 chords, but you're not playing them the same way because the tuning's different. So it's going to look more like it's kind of done in fourths, that's essentially how the song goes out. That's it. So, let's see. Let me if you're comfortable with it at this point, you can go ahead and cut it off. I'm going to go ahead and slap my way through this version. I've still got a lot of practice to do on this song anyway, but we're going to kind of try to take this from the beginning here for you. The only other thing I might want to mention is that the a lot of stuff combining the B and the E string. We're not going to get into the solo in this song, learning that note for note. And I don't necessarily think this is one of those kind of guitar solos where you're required to do that. You want to get the spirit of it. So you're going to probably just kind of have to, kind of like you worked your way through that part, maybe play along with a backing track from YouTube and just sort of find something that you're comfortable with. But I think the spirit of it is the kind of open string kind of thing. But otherwise, it's not the kind of song that I think you requires you to do a note for note guitar solo. So I probably wouldn't. I'm going to jam on that another and get comfortable with jamming over it. So if you want to stop the video, you can. Appreciate it if you'd like to subscribe to my channel if you found this worthwhile. I'm going to go ahead and try to play my way through this. Song just so you guys can kind of see where this all is now. Okay. All right, here we go. The chain from the beginning. And again, not going to be perfectly, but you'll get a chance to see what I'm doing anyway. What's wrong? Check it out. It repeats anyway. Right? Atonal ugliness. So, If I was playing this live, I probably would not have the chance to grab a pick, but I do my hair, so do it with my fingers. Something along those lines. Licks kind of in that register, and just to kind of let's go back to the rhythm part for a second. Oops. Because the whole thing's in fourths, right? At least it looks like fourths. It's actually fifths because this is tuned down a step. That's essentially the song. That's my process for kind of going through a song. If I can figure it out by ear, I definitely sit down and do it. If I get it challenged at all, I go out and check out something like maybe off of Marty Music or some other guy's lessons and learn it that way. I've sat with many of those sort of lessons, even though I've been doing this for 35 years. And I don't play in alternate tunings often, so I would have been here forever trying to pick that out by ear and possibly had it wrong. So in this case, I went to a guitar lesson and looked for that. I learned the parts there. I come back and I learn the song. I like to try to learn the song as close to how it goes as possible. Wasn't sitting here doing that today because I would have kept this would have been a 2 or 3 hour lesson with me trying to figure out every little tweak and twiddle. So, but I do attempt to do that in order to really kind of get the song in my fingers and in my brain. And if it changes a little bit, it changes a little bit. Who cares? Not that big of a deal. And so, yeah, that's the song. The other thing is just to kind of, I'll likely go to a jam track, again, off YouTube, like a backing track, and just kind of just jam the solo parts. And if I sit there with it long enough, I will definitely find something that works, and it'll all kind of come together. I've got about 2.5 weeks to learn this song. And I'll probably be singing the harmony parts, also the lower parts. All our singer sings the higher parts, but that's a whole other thing entirely. First, I want to get it on the guitar, then I'll add that stuff in. But that's kind of my process, and for really just about learning just about anything, you know what I mean, is just, you know, and in this case is a challenging song, and in my end, I'll probably end up putting like 3 to 5 hours into it to really kind of try to get it down before I'm comfortable with it. And then, and in a perfect world, hopefully by that case, I'll have it so ingrained in my head that when I go to play it out, it'll be okay. You know, it'll come off sounding up fine, and just like I'm a really talented guy who doesn't have to sit here and work his ass off learning stuff, which is more of the real deal, you know. So, yeah. So if you like this, you know, subscribe to my channel, like my channel. I don't do a lot of these in-depth videos, but I did want to kind of do one about my process learning the song. And so you learn my process, and you'll kind of learn how to play the chain at the same time. So fun. Talk to you guys the next time. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.